President Trump putting the finishing touches on his first address to a joint session of Congress. Previewing us with this tonight, CNN politics reporter Eugene Scott and political analyst Ellis Hennigan, the author of the Trump's America column for the Metro papers. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, guys.
Hello. All right, so we know it's the renewal of the American spirit. Has the president reached out to those that did not vote for him, Ellis? If he does tonight, how does he do it?
Well, he hasn't yet. Let's be clear on that. This has been focused entirely at the base up until now. Well, listen, you could start by expressing just some words of welcome, right? That this is a country that encourages immigrants, that wants to give everyone a chance. I mean, honestly, I don't even think we're anywhere near policy on it, but it sure would be nice to have some warm words along those lines.
I think, though, he is, in the last 24 hours, has shown that he wants to be tough. America first, and he wants to be tough.
Exactly.
And yesterday, the president was talking about how, when he was talking about more money for the American military and the biggest American military buildup in American history, he said, he also, I don't know, inadvertently or advertently, insulted the military and said that we don't win. We don't even try to win. Listen.
We have to win. We have to start winning wars again. I have to say, when I was young in high school and college, everybody used to say, we never lost a war. We never lost a war. You remember. Some of you are right there with me, and you remember, we never lost a war. America never lost. And now, we never win a war. We never win. And we don't fight to win. We don't fight to win. So we either got to win or don't fight it at all.
Inside the halls of the Pentagon, I can't even imagine what kind of discussions were going on. He was born in 1946. We had just won, World War II. But certainly, if you're talking about the big, tank battles in Europe, those aren't happening in the 70s, and the 80s, and the 90s. What do you make of the worldview here? He promised that he would make us bigger and stronger, but he's sort of rewriting history.
He certainly is. I don't know if we're losing. I'm not sure who we're losing to, and the whole idea of we don't fight to win, I don't know what the motivation behind that was. But I do think that the argument was presented to provide reasons for why he wants to give more military spending, right? And so if he thinks that we are losing, if we have more military spending, then maybe we will win more. But I think one of the main criticisms to that is it looks like, and these are just elementary proposed budgets, that if we do provide more military spending, there's some other areas that will be harmed as a result, such as arts and such as AmeriCorps and programs like that. And these are some of the programs that the community, the voters that you mentioned who aren't on his team, really care a lot about, and he could do a better job of showing support for those.
How about the State Department? Right? I mean, one of the ways we're going to get this extra money for the military is to slash the budget in the State Department. We've just seen dozens of former generals and admirals coming from both parties saying, hold on a second, we need the State Department. We want to avoid wars. If the State Department, through its diplomatic efforts, can get us out of these things, boy, there's no better way to keep America safe than that.
Diplomacy and the military are supposed to be a handshake.
Like that.
Right.
Like that.
Right, and that's actually been, one of the areas in which the president's been criticized on since taking office, that he hasn't been the most diplomatic if you look at some of his interactions with foreign leaders.
He's also been criticized about this relationship with Russia, and now he has turned that on the leaks, and that is the real problem here. And here's what he told Fox and Friends on an interview set to air this morning regarding the source of those leaks.
Can we talk about President Obama? It turns out his organization seems to be doing a lot of the organizing to some of the protests that a lot of these Republicans are seeing around the country and against you. Do you believe President Obama's behind it? And if he is that a violation of the so-called unsaid President's Code?
No, I think he is behind it. I also think it's politics. That's the way it is. His people are certainly behind it. And some of the leaks possibly come from that group. Some of the leaks, which are really very serious leaks because they're very bad in terms of national security.
Ellis, aside from the fact that he was clearly prodded there more than he was asked a question, what's your reaction to the accusations that the leaks?
Well, you know what the best way to get people to leak is to treat them badly. Like, for instance, call your entire staff in and say, put your cell phones on the table right now. Is there any better way to guarantee that tomorrow and the next day those people aren't whispering in the ears of people like us?
But as to them coming from the Obama administration, is there any credence to that?
No,
well, we haven't seen any evidence of it, which was why it's so interesting to hear the question say it seems as if the Obama team is organizing that. There's no evidence for that. What we do have evidence of is that many people attending these town halls who are really upset are Republicans who voted for Donald Trump.
And some of them are first-timers in the political, in the political activism. You showed me a picture picture earlier today that everyone's talking about. Can we put this up? What is this?
This is Kellyanne Conway in the Oval
You
Office.
got to drop the banner to see it. There
The
you go.
president meeting with the presidents of black colleges, and it is just exploding on Twitter right now. The Oval Office, the third trending topic on Twitter, and it's just an unusual shot, is it not, Ellis, for the casual nature of Kellyanne Conway?
I would say yes. Although, you know, we've all known Kellyanne for a long time, and we've seen her in a lot of casual situations over the years.
Yeah, it's been criticized for a period to be irreverent, but what I think will be much more interesting looking at that shot is to see what the Trump administration in fact does to help historically black colleges and universities.
There are others who are saying,
Don't
oh,
hold
come
your
on,
breath
give
on
her a
that
break.
She's
Everyone's just
comfortable.
trying to
She's comfortable.
give Kellyanne a break. Okay, thanks, guys. Nice to see you.
Slouch away.